Beis Amud Beis. We'll begin Lamed Beis Amud Aleph, 4 lines from the bottom, the 2 dots. Dorish Rav Simloi L'Olam Yasar Adam Shloch Shel Kadosh Baruch Hu Va'achar Kach Yitzbal. Before a person makes his request, his bakashas from their Rebbeinu Shalom, he should first praise Hashem and then make the request. Min Nolan, where we see this, Min Moshe, we see this from Moshe Rabbeinu. Tachsiv Eschanel Hashem Be'Yisohi. Moshe Rabbeinu davened to the Rebbeinu Shalom. He said, Hashem Elokim, Atach Eloiso Lahar Zesavdecha, Eskadelcha, Vesyadacha Chazaka, Shermi, Kel B'Shamayim, Varsa, Sheryasacha Masach, Urasecha. The first thing that Moshe Rabbeinu did was to praise Hashem. And after that, and only after, it says, only after that he made the request to come into Eretz Yisrael. First praise Hashem and then make your request. Tefillah is greater than in the Ma'asim Tovim, the good deeds. There's no one greater than deeds than Moshe Rabbeinu. He was Mezak against Klal Yisrael for eternity. But his answer was with davening with tefillah shenemar al toisev dabra elai alei rosh hapiska. Don't stop davening. Don't talk to me further than this. Alei rosh hapiska, and go and look into Eretz Yisrael and view Eretz Yisrael. So it's his tefillah that enabled him to do that. Fasting is greater than tzedakah. Why? My time as a begufa zebem. Because giving money is one thing, but his physical body, his physical suffering is even greater. So his fasting is greater than tzedakah. Davening tefillah is greater than karbanos. How do we know that? Because the pasuk says, Lama li shenemar lama li roiziv chechem. It says, why do I need your karbanos? And when you daven, I will hide from you. So the fact that it says, I don't want your karbanos, and then it says that I don't even want your tefillah, it shows that the tefillah is even greater than karbanos. A kohen that killed somebody should not do the birchas kahanim. Your hands are full of blood. And it says, I turn my eyes, the continuation of the pasuk is, I turn my eyes away from you. From the time after the Churban, the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, the gates of Tefillah were locked. Says, I would cry and plead to Hashem, my tefillah was closed. It was closed up, my tefillah. But even though the gates of tefillah were locked, were closed, however, but the gates of tears, if it comes, the tefillah through tears, through beseeching Hashem, the whole nefesh, then the tefillahs are answered. Because how do we know that? To my tears, don't be silent. Don't be silent with my tears. Tears are answered. Rava was not geyser a tanis on a cloudy day. You close yourself in. You close yourself with clouds, and the tefillah can't pass. That's a siman that the clouds are like a barrier for the tefillah. So on Yisquezer and Tanis, on a day where there's no clouds, so that the tefillahs and the Tanis would be accepted in Shemayim. After the Churban, there was like a wall of iron between Klal Yisrael and Rebbeinu Hashem. And make yourself like a wall, an iron wall between you and the city. There's a separation. After the Churban, there's a separation between the Rebbeinu Shalom and Klal Yisrael. A person davens and he lengthens its tefillah, he davens and he keeps davening, then he will be answered. he won't come back, he won't be empty-handed, come back empty-handed. And Nolan, how do we know that? Moshe Rabbeinu Shenem, Rav Aspalal Hashem, Moshe Rabbeinu said, I come to Hashem, Uksi Basrei V'ish Moshe, Hashem Elai Gam B'Pamehi, Hashem answered me this time as well. Ini frak the Gemara, is this so? V'amar Rabbi Chia bar Abba Amar V'Yeichnan, Kol HaMarach B'Tfilah U'Ma'ayin Bo. If a person is marach, he lengthens his tefillah, and he examines it, and he looks into it. Therefore, he says, so they cave late. Ultimately, he will come to be despondent. He'll come to have heartache. Shenemar, the pasuk is techel mamush hamachas leib. A prolonged davening makes the person, his heart, it makes him sick. It makes it a machla with the leib. Ma'itakante, what should he do? Yasik b'teir. Shenemar of eitz chayim tava bo. So you should be oisik b'toyer. However, you see, in any event, you see that a lengthy tefillah is something that brings l'kev leib. And here we're saying that it's a good thing, and he won't be come back empty-handed. That's talking where he's ma'ayin, that he looks to see if he will be answered with it. He shouldn't look to see is he going to be answered. He davens, and then because of his long davening, he's therefore should be answered and granted. His wishes should be granted. He davens with kavona. He lengthens his davening. That's a good thing, and that's a proper thing, and then he ultimately will be answered. But if he's ma'ayin ba, then he has machalev. He'll be disappointed because he'll be waiting for a response and to be granted his wishes, and it won't come right away, and therefore he'll have a machalev. If a person davens and he's not answered right away, you should daven again. Shenemar kavel Hashem chazak v'yametz libecha v'kavel Hashem. You daven and you daven again and keep davening. Ton Rabbanan are matzrichim chizuk. 4 things you have to constantly strengthen them. Ve'lan Torah u'ma'asim tovim tefillah v'derech eretz. These are the 4 things. Torah u'ma'asim tovim 9. Why do we know? How do we know Torah u'ma'asim tovim? You have to constantly be mechazah, strengthen them. Shenemar rak chazak v'matz moed lishmor la'asais kachol ha'Torah. Chazak b'Torah. So that's referring to v'matz u'ma'asim tovim. As the boys speak out, as lishmor v'lasas. There's a lishmor, so it's chazak v'ametz moed. Lishmor is Torah, that's shmira. V'lasa is to do actions. That's ma'asim. That's ma'asim Torah. Tefillah m'nayin shenemar kavel Hashem chazak v'yametz libecha v'kavel Hashem. Derech eretz m'nayin shenemar chazak v'nis chazek be'ad amenu. So there we say chazak, what we do, ma'asim tovim, for derech eretz, derech eretz, what we have to do, ba'adamenu, that has to be, needs chizuk. Klal Yisrael said in the Golus and the suffering that Hashem has forsaken me. Hashem has forgotten me. Hainu azuva, hainu shchucha. What's the difference between azuva, forsaken, and then shchucha, forgotten? It's the same thing. So Amar Reish Lakish, Amar Knesses, Yisrael Lefnei Kadosh Baruch Hu, Ribbono Shel Olam, Adam Nesi Shal Ishte Rishona. If a person marries a second wife, Zeicher Ma'asav Ma'asah Rishon, he remembers the first wife, the actions of the first wife. Ata Azavani Shalchani. We were like the marshal of Klal Yisrael to Kadosh Baruch Hu, was like a ish v'isha, husband and wife, and you have forgotten us. Amalai Kadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem says to Klal Yisrael, Biti Shnei Masal Mazals Barasi Barakia. I created 12 constellations in the Rakia, in the heavens. So I'll call Mazal Barasi Shloishim Chayil. And I created 30 armies for each one. And I created for each one of those 30 legions. Each one is like a different formation, armies and groups and etc. Va'al kol ligin v'ligin brasli shleishim rahatin. Va'al kol ratin brasli shleishim kartan. Va'al kol kartan brasli shleishim Gisa Gasra. Malkal Gasra and the Gasra Talisa Boy Shlosh Meso Shim Chamesh Alfe Riboy Kechavim Keneg Yemoisa Chama. And for each one of those, I created 365,000 of the 365,000 of the Kechavim, the stars and constellations. V'kulam Loibarasi El Bishvilcha. I created all of that for you, for Klal Yisrael. But Amat, as a bunch of Chani, you say that I've forsaken you, I've forgotten you. Atishach Isha Ula, can a mother forget her baby? Klum, Amar Kodesh Baruch Hu, Klum, Ashkach Oiloi, so Ula, we darshan Ula, Ashkach Oiloi, Elam, Pitra, Hamim, Shekraf, Lefana, Midbar. Can I forget all the carbonas that you were making for me in the Midbar? Amra Lefanav. So Klal Yisrael answered back, Ribono shel olam, hoilevein shecha lifnei kisei kvodecha, Hashem lo tishkach li ma'aseh hegel. If there's no forgetting, then you'll remember everything. Then even you'll remember the averes, the ma'aseh hegel. Amar gamel tishkachna. He said, Amar la gamel, this will be forgotten. I remember everything, but when I choose to forget, I choose to put aside, I will disregard the ma'aseh hegel. Well, if there is forgetting, if you choose to forget, Sinai, maybe you'll forget Har Sinai. No, I will not forget you. I will remember your good deeds. I'll remember the good things. I'll forget the bad things. I will remember the good things. I will forget the Maaseh Hegel. So the Mishnah said that the Chasidim HaRishonim, they would pause before they daven. They would contemplate. They would prepare themselves for davening. Rishoy Sha'achas, and only then they would daven. Chasidim HaRishonim HaYeshem Sha'achas, they would pause for an hour. Where do we see this in? That before you daven, you don't rush right into daven. You pause, you wait, you contemplate, you prepare yourself. Amar Rishu ben Levi Amar Kro Ashrei Yoish Ve'Veisech. Yoish Ve'Veisech, sit, dwell in the Beisech, in the shul before you daven. First, dwell there, contemplate, prepare yourself, and then daven. Not only before the davening, but after the davening also. You don't rush right away after davening. You also pause. So it says Yeshu, they have to sit, meaning you prepare yourself to elevate yourself in davening, to rise higher, to come to Hashem, and then when you descend, take time to now descend, to come back into the worldly affairs. They would, before the davening, prepare themselves an hour, daven for an hour, and afterwards, then they would wait to now descend from the lofty heights before they were Isaac and went about their business. So it's 1 hour before davening, an hour and after, 3 tefillos a day, that's 9 hours. So if it takes them 9 hours for davening, how can they be Isaac with Torah? How are they going to be Isaac Malacha? They have siyata d'shmaya. They have a special siyata d'shmaya that the malacha will be done, will be taken care of. The Torah, they'll have a special siyata d'shmaya that they will remember their Torah. The Mishnah said that if he's davening, he should not interrupt his davening. And even if the king is asking him, making a request, he should not answer. That's only if it's a Yiddish king, a Melech Yisrael. But for a Melech, for the king, then Paisik, he has to interrupt it because it's considered a sakana. Mainsail ask you a kasha if he's davening and he sees that there is a gangster that's coming and approaching him, or he sees a wagon that's coming towards him, it says he's not mafsik, he just davens quickly. He should shorten his tefillah and then finish early, but he should not interrupt. Perhaps in the Gemara, where it's possible to shorten it, then he should. But if not, that's when he stops. That's what it's referring to. So he stops. If he can't, there's not enough time to quickly finish, then he has to interrupt.